Every time these two players hit, it seems to result in a very good game. So what the heck? It's been a long time, let's go for the full best of 5, baby. These two young'uns aren't so young anymore, they've been taking names all over the scene. And they just seem to raise their game when they match up against each other. A low ground pylon for Protoss, and it looks like Clem's gonna go for some kind of early scout. The door is also open for some kind of proxy here. Not very Clem-like, but I wouldn't put it past him, especially in this matchup. MaxPax with the gate and go. Nope, regular racks for Clem, let's do an intro. Our Terran player in the bottom right, his name means mercy, but he will show none, because he's Clem!
Current world rank 6.
So both our players scouting early here. There is no trust in game 1. This is the semi-finals of the EU qualifier, by the way. Oh, it's an eBay block. We're getting down and dirty to start here. MaxPax with the instant response. He's got 3 probes, make it 4. He's going after not only the cheap eBay, but also the SCV itself. Meanwhile, MaxPax trying a little hatch block of his own with his probe in Clem's natural. So that's the name of the game here, shave as many seconds off each other's natural as possible. MaxPax puts down his core because he's got the money queuing up. Clem's racks finishes, he was gonna make a Marine, but he changes it to a Reaper. The annoyance level of that probe caused him to change his mind, and it's a first blood for MaxPax. Clem is forced to cancel the eBay, and MaxPax puts down the Nexus. We don't do average Paxes around here. We only deal with the MaxPax!
Current world rank 13.
Well, things have started off with a bit of a bang here. Clem's got a Reaper out on the map. He's following that up with a Marine. MaxPax is chrono boosting out an Adept to defend. I have to say, MaxPax's response to that eBay block was exactly on point. Oh, he snuck his probe back in after the Reaper left. He wants another SCV kill. Clem's gonna pull back his Reaper to deal with it. That pesky probe delayed the Reaper scout. Clem wants that probe dead. He's gonna kill it. Getting revenge for that first blood, but he's sort of lost his opportunity to jump into MaxPax's base. By the time he gets back across the map, a second Adept is already gonna be out. Clem knows it, and he's making that bunker, but it's not gonna finish in time. Shade's already here. The Marine and that Reaper are gonna have to soak the hits until that bunker can finish. Second Marine arrives. That Adept is attracting a lot of attention, and I think her sister's making her way across the map. Clem is close to getting his natural done. He doesn't want that construction impeded. MaxPax would love to get the snipe on that building SCV. The bunker is done, and so is the command center. Clem gets that depot raise. Clem's finished that factory, so he's gonna get to work on getting one of his favorite units, the Widowmine, and it just so happens to be rather adept at killing adepts. Just so you know, the Protoss originally had a unit called the Inept, but it didn't go so well. Widowmine arrives, MaxPax has a chance to hit it before it buries. Oh, no damage. Clem gets it down just in time. There's a double shade. MaxPax is up to something. Oh, he baits out the Widowmine shot. He dodged it. He dodged it. Oh, that was so cool. We absolutely have to do a replay of that in the post-game. Clem then does a pincer move with his Marines and kills the Adept anyway. I think he's gonna get the second one. Not before MaxPax kills an SCV. Oh, he did get away. Oh, but Clem is not done. He sends over his Reaper. Clem had a Reaper coming home after he took a peek inside MaxPax's main. He's gonna get that Adept. Clem is such a party pooper. MaxPax does this wicked Widowmine dodge, and Clem goes and makes it irrelevant by just killing all the Adepts anyway. He knows I want to talk about it in the post-game, so he goes and makes it as unimportant as humanly possible. Oh, Clem's setting himself up for a Widowmine drop here. He's got the medevac. There's the pickup. He almost missed it there. Meanwhile, MaxPax is adding 3 more gates, getting Blink, and he almost has his robo done. That's got Blink Stalker written all over it, possibly with the old blink into your main with an observer bit. No, it's actually going to be with a warp prism. That works too. It's more expensive, but you can also warp in more Stalkers. Clem's Reaper goes after that probe. He gets it, but really he's trying to act as a distraction force. He wants to bait those Stalkers out of position. MaxPax isn't falling for it. I'm not sure if he actually spotted the medevac or he just knows what's up. He sends his Stalkers over to guard his left flank. He definitely can't see it now. Warp Prism is out. MaxPax isn't waiting. He's sending it over. I think the Reaper spotted its departure before he died, and that is intel worth dying for. Oh yeah, MaxPax is going on the offensive. He's left 2 stalkers to guard his natural, but the rest are streaming across the map. Clem's making a tank. That's exactly what he needs. I know I say that's the answer to everything, but this is exactly the time you need a tank. And Clem's already got his SCVs at his loaded bunker. He is so ready. Oh, the tank's in the mineral line. MaxPax can't tank it there. But at the same time, its range can't be too good. I mean, so many players just outright die to this, but Clem is defending it like it's no problem. And there goes the drop. 1 mine in the natural. There's the probe pulse. Can they get it? Look like 2 kills. Stalker should be able to focus it down. Second one goes into the main. No probe pulse this time. Boom! Solid hit from the Widow Mine Master. That had to be at least 5 or 6. There's no armory, so the stalkers don't need detection. They just focus it down while it's reloading. MaxPax tops up his stalker force and looks for revenge. Clem's ahead by 15 workers now. The pressure's on MaxPax to do some damage. Oh, catching the medevac on its return trip is a nice start, but he can't face that bunker. There's a tank behind it. MaxPax is gonna try anyway. He blinks on the tank, he snipes it. He goes for the bunker next. But there are so many SCVs allocated for repair. MaxPax has to pull out of there. He's lost a lot of stalkers. He just overclocks his warp gates and warps in more stalkers. He's gonna try for the main again. Clem has an even more aggressive tank position this time. Does that mean MaxPax can blink on it, or does that mean he's just gonna get splattered? Clem is just cranking out Marauders now. Yeah, it's gonna get difficult for stalkers pretty soon. Stim is done, combat shields is almost done, and +1 is on the way for Terran. MaxPax decides to try that bunker again. He's not expanding. He's looking like he's gonna try to win it here. 2 base on 2 base, but he's up against Marauder tank now. How does he solve Clem's defense? It is so on point right now. He blinks on the bunker, there's no tank there. He gets it, but Clem has dropped units in behind the stalkers. Admiral Akbar says it's a trap, it's a vice maneuver, and now the Marauders are going at those stalkers. You can blink them if you want. And MaxPax is one of the best at it, but they're still gonna die to those Marauders. The Marines are dead, but the Marauders are definitely cleaning this up. There's nothing to kill that warp prism though. I think he can get away anytime. MaxPax is using the warp prism though to rotate his stalkers like crazy. Concussive shells is gonna finish and life is gonna get even more unsafe. And GG! MaxPax is not going to try to transition. He's going to give Clem game 1. Okay, so Clem with a very solid win here. But you know what I'm going to say? The beauty of this game was all on MaxPax. Can we please look at that Widowmine shade dodge? I can't begin to tell you how hard this is to pull off. Dodging Widowmines with Blink is crazy enough, but this is a whole other level. Just for those who may not appreciate it, unlike with Blink, you don't hit a keystroke to teleport. The shade teleport happens on a preset timer. MaxPax has to first turn on the shade, then he has to get the Widowmine to shoot at him, and he's got to have that shot happen at the exact moment the teleport's gonna happen. This is next level micro stuff. These are Hall of Famer adepts and they deserve better than death by Clem. But the good news is we can at least give the man a certified micro moment. Anywho, Clem takes game 1 on Curious Minds. Adjutant, if you would please.
Increasing Protoss by 15%.
The game begins now.
Thank you, Adjutant. We are back, and this time we're on Pride of Alteris. A love it, hate it map if there ever was one. Clem is off with an early scout or possibly some skullduggery here. MaxPax also moving out with a probe. We could have double cheese going on here, people. I love this. Who's got what planned here? MaxPax looks to be headed for his gold. He doesn't have the minerals for a quick nexus, though. He's gonna put down his initial pylon. Does Clem catch that with his SCV? He does not. He does not see it. Oh my god, that was so close. Is he gonna put down a he puts down a proxy right next to MaxPax's proxy. That is just unreal. They are both next door neighbors and have no idea. We'd better do some intros. Gateway goes down for MaxPax. They used to call him the future of Protoss, but now he's here. He is MaxPax. We can absolutely say the same thing about his Terran opponent in the bottom right. They used to call him the future of Terran, but he's here because he is Clem! Now to get back to business, neither player knows about the cheese that's going on here. MaxPax just set the rally point for his gateway away from Clem's proxy. That's bad for him. Clem finishes first and he starts up a Reaper. MaxPax has a completely undefended main right now. MaxPax finishes his gateway. Clem's gonna be the first person to scout. He's gonna see that cyber core going down without a gate. He's gonna know something's up. Zealot getting chrono boosted, but it is absolutely headed the wrong way. Even worse, MaxPax is queuing minerals. He's trying to put down a nexus at that gold. He does. He is officially in a lot of trouble. That Reaper's gonna pop. MaxPax has no idea he's getting cheesed. Oh, the Reaper's coming down. Clem decides he needs to look for the proxy. He finds it. He's going after the pylon. Clem getting a factory back home. He's got the double gas. That Zealot is headed for Clem's base. That's gonna be his first scout. Oh, and now he's chrono boosting a stalker. Clem putting down a bunker. Shield battery, MaxPax. Oh please, shield battery. Is it? Yes! It's a construction war. I love it when these guys do it. Oh my god, that Zealot got inside the main. Clem missed the depot wall. That is huge. That puts MaxPax back in this. It probably also means I'm gonna miss the first blood. MaxPax kills the SCV building the bunker. That's also big for him. Clem has to abandon ship, and now that is bad for Clem. MaxPax has secured a gold base, and his Zealot is still wreaking havoc back home. Clem's got a Hellion to clean that up. Oh wow, they're actually dead even on resources lost. MaxPax is gonna replace his pylon, and he's gonna be in good shape. That ends his supply block, and he has a worker lead. Oh, I love this. It's gonna be a worker recall. Clem has the income advantage. That's his mules, but that's not gonna last anymore. Clem understands the threat. He's marshaling units to try to harass that gold. Remember, he kept his Reapers alive and now he gets to use them. But MaxPax's shield battery's powered back up, and there's even gonna be a Nexus overcharge available at some point. That's gonna be a really tough take for Clem now. He's flying his racks home and looking to see if he can attack the main. MaxPax was on that though. He ran a stalker home. Is it enough? Oh my god, somehow he managed to get a starport up while he was doing all of this. Clem's expanding to his natural and he's looking to pick up those probe kills. The shield battery can't save him when you're bringing this much DPS. This is exactly what Clem needed. He's killing probes and he's getting the scout to see that MaxPax is building that oracle. The demise of Clem was very premature. He's done a ton of damage here. He takes back the worker lead, and he's put the Protoss back on his heels. MaxPax had to resort to an overcharge to clean this up. And those pesky Reapers are gonna survive. Clem finishes his natural, and look at that. Thanks to that scout, Clem knew to build a Cyclone, so he's got something to deal with that oracle. He's actually building a second one. And, courtesy of his probe kills, he's still got the income lead. I thought game one was gonna satisfy my Starcraft itch, but this second game has been fantastic. Here comes the Oracle dive. Remember, Clem knows about this and he's got defenses. Though his bunker's not done. Oh, the Cyclone's gonna chase off that Oracle. The SCV did survive, and the Reapers are coming home just in time. And now MaxPax looking to see if he can maybe set up a bit of a soft contain here. I don't know though. This early in the game, I don't think Clem will be too broken up if he's stuck on two bases. No, MaxPax is getting aggressive. He picks up that Cyclone and kills it. Clem has to pull the boys to defend. That's gonna cost him some mining time and possibly some SCVs. MaxPax is pulling back, but he's gotta be happy with that raid. And I do believe he's pulling Clem a little bit out of position here. That's gonna let his Oracle slip back in. The Oracle really hasn't been able to get anything done, but perhaps this is his chance to make amends. Otherwise, after work, all his Oracle buddies will make fun of him. Oracles have really had a resurgence in PvT right now. Contrary to my assertion, Clem did not strip his defense. He's got enough Marines, he's gonna push that Oracle away. One vision tag is all you get. I just love these two players. They are so good, and they take their game to a higher level when they play each other. I have no idea if these guys actually have a rivalry, but if they did, it would be my favorite one. Stim finishing up for Clem, Twilight Council only finishing now. MaxPax opting for Zealot charge over the Blink. Clem salvages his bunker and starts pushing out. He's got a tank to back this up. The bunker salvage, the international sign of confidence for Terran. But is he really? Army size is almost dead even. Workers are dead even. Supplies almost dead on. MaxPax adding gates, he's getting +1. But Clem is gonna take another shot at his gold. MaxPax can't blink on the tank, and that's gonna make that tank so much more powerful. He's gonna get it sieged. He's gonna get it sieged. I think it's in range of that shield battery. Oh, but MaxPax has a second shield battery. Clem obliterates the first one. We see that MaxPax has the income lead, but it's not nearly as dramatic as I was expecting. Oh, the Phoenixes get an angle on the tank. It's a double lift, but Clem's Marines save them both. I don't know how Clem got out of that, but he did. MaxPax continually warping units in at his goal to try to save it. Clem's either going to need to reinforce the attack or he's got to expand behind it. Did he just kill his own guy? I think Clem just executed a traitor. Just kidding, I assume he fat-fingered that. Not a huge deal, he's bringing up a ton of fresh Marines behind this. But MaxPax has charge lots now. That's going to be super helpful for him. Both players dead even on workers. Clem with a slight marginal army lead at this point. Time is in the favor of MaxPax. Both players are getting their third base. MaxPax is ahead on that though, and he has a gold. The pressure's on Clem to do some damage. Well, MaxPax has a bit of a hit squad going around the outside there. I think they're going to try to circle around and get Clem's army. Clem defeated MaxPax with a pincer maneuver in game 1. Perhaps Protoss is looking to turn the tables in game 2. Clem is getting concussive shells for his marauders. That's going to eat those stalkers alive. You do not want to see non-blinking stalkers against concussive shells. The zealots got in. That is terrible for Clem. MaxPax is going to use that as his opportunity to charge. Tanks are lifted, and this time the Marines can't save them. There's chaos inside of Clem's base. I think he's cleaning it up, but MaxPax has broken the Terran siege, and now he's harassing the Terran all the way home. It's going to be very hard for Clem to hold his third. MaxPax's +1 armor is finished. He wanted that for his charge lots. +1 infantry weapons is about to finish though. Clem's gonna have to dig deep to hold here. He is outgunned. If he loses his third here, the income disparity's only gonna get worse. Oh, there's so many Phoenix. They're going right at the Marines. It's a lift-a-palooza and the Zealots are killing everything left on the ground. Clem probably wishing he still had that bunker. He's retreating to his main. Can the stutter step micro thin out the Zealots? MaxPax is now everywhere, hitting all 3 of his bases. It's GG! And that is a tied series, people. 1 game apiece. Though I feel like MaxPax should be awarded 2 games for that because it was so cool. That might be why they don't put me in charge of tournaments. Might have something to do with it. Okay, so first off, how cool is it that we had proxies set up right next to each other? I'm sure that's happened before, but it's pretty special when it happens. We had 2 very high-level players in the dark for a pretty prolonged period of time here. It was a total O'Reilly scenario, which if you're not familiar is O'Reilly is dead and O'Reilly don't know it. O'Reilly is dead and O'Reilly don't know it. They're both lying dead in the very same bed and neither one knows that the other is dead. Which was kind of what this was. Clem got the scout, and that enabled Clem to get the better of it. And I actually think he came out on top of this, except that he made one mistake, and I bet you can guess what it was. He left his depot wall down and didn't spot that zealot working his way into his base. If Clem gets that depot up, he's got plenty of time for his Hellion to finish, and he holds that wall. And we're looking at a different game, and in particular, a game in which I don't miss the first blood. I love how the zealot's just kind of hanging out, taking a break. And then he gets back to slaughtering everyone. And then the Hellion eventually takes him out. Now, as long as I seem to be picking on poor Clem in unrealistic and unfair ways, let's show the slow-mo footage of him killing his own unit. It didn't really impact the game, and the only reason I want to show it is just to remind everybody that it happens to the best of us, even the absolute best of us, like Clem. So the next time you do this in your game, just cut yourself some slack and move on. But talk about being voted off the island, Terran style. So, can these players possibly top what we just got in game 2? Let's find out, Adjutant, if you would please.
Eliminating unnecessary caster hyperbole by 80%. The game begins now.
2 great games, all tied up. All of a sudden, our best of 5 is now a best of 3. And to resume the action, we're going to turn to one of the prettiest maps available, and that would be the ever delightful Berlingrad. Our players are going to put down their initial supply structures so we can get this party going. It's a Reaper block position for MaxPax. We haven't seen that yet this series. Whenever I see that now these days, it always makes me think that Protoss might be trying to hide something. I mean, sure, there was a time people just did it every game. And yeah, nobody likes a Reaper in their main. But these days, it makes me a little suspicious. Let's do those intros. Our Protoss player in the upper left is an English brand of coffee, but I was delighted to learn that it also makes soup, specifically chicken soup, because it's MaxPax! Yes indeed, Zugzwang plus internet means you will have facts you did not care about. But if you want the highest optical quality with automated high accuracy overlay, then you want Clem! Yes, that is a real acronym, but no, I do not know what it means. But a Clem is probably more useful than a Zug, that's all I can say. Oh, we've got a prolonged worker battle here. Are we gonna get serious about this? No, MaxPax is backing off. Rax is gonna complete, and it's not a Reaper, it's a Marine. I called it. That's hilarious, but it's your fault, MaxPax. You made that happen. Clem's getting the minerals to put down his command center. MaxPax has put down his Nexus. And now he wants to see if he can delay Clem's expansion. Can he do it without getting killed? Oh, there wasn't much more than a nanosecond delay there. MaxPax's core is down as well. He put that up in his main though to finish that Reaper block. The Marine is out, but he's not chasing that probe. He's guarding his ramp. He doesn't want MaxPax to get any info on his main either. Shrouded in secrecy seems to be the theme of Game 3 so far. Core complete. We have a chrono boosted adept. Warp gate research, yes. And no immediate tech choice. Nice to see the battle probe made it home alive. Clem's already halfway done his factory and he's finishing off his wall. Still no tech choice for Protoss. I gotta get used to this is the way they play it now. The adept is out and her twin sister is gonna get chrono boosted behind her. There's our tech choice. It's a Twilight Council. If this was a PVZ, I'd say this had all the hallmarks of a glaive rush. But I'm reasonably confident that's not what this is. Oh, the adept does not spot that SCV hiding up on the ramp there. Oh, and the SCV's not just loitering, he's actually a cheeser. Clem is proxying a starport. Clem's making Hellions, that suggests he could be going for that euthermal Hellion drop. Marine's gonna sneak into that bunker just in time. The Hellion drop is such a weird thing, but you can't deny that it works. The adept's hanging around shooting shades, hoping she might be able to see what's going up in Clem's base. Hey, he's made a depot error at least once in this series. Clem's Marines give some thought to ejecting that adept, but then decide they might be safer in that bunker. Gah! MaxPax just put down a dark shrine. It's double cheese again. There's that beautiful black and silver ball of energy. We're gonna have to see how this shakes out. Who hits first is often a big deal. This is a big investment for MaxPax, so he's not gonna have a lot of defenses at home. He's made a robo to go with this, presumably for that warp prism. If the adept manages to hang around though, it could get the scout. If he sees the Hellions coming out, he'll know what he's up against. Clem's trying to chase the adept off so that doesn't happen. Oh, the shade goes right into the mineral line. Clem ignores the adept in favor of getting his Hellions out. And so he has to pull all the probes from his mineral line. The adept kills the returning mule. Is that a first blood? If it isn't, the SCV certainly would be. The starport's on its way back, and that's because the Hellion drop is good to go. There's so much tension building up in this game right now. It's 3 Hellions, not 4. I haven't seen this version before. MaxPax warping in a pair of Stalkers to defend. There is no shield battery this time. Can Clem get the damage? 2 probe kills, 3 so far. 5! The Stalkers are giving chase. 7! Clem picks up all 3 Hellions. He puts him back down because he's not done. He's going for the natural. Where are those probes going? What are they doing? Oh! The probes chased the Hellions and wound up lining up for their destruction. This is starting to get serious. This is game-altering damage. Clem picks up and goes for the main again. Clem's also got the scout off on the Dark Shrine, but he's probably figured that out by the DTs in his base at this point. Oh, the probe losses are getting significant here. Clem is just channeling euthermal and maybe a little bit of special, and he is just killing probes. Oh, there's MaxPax. He's finally got the chase away. Clem actually saved all of his Hellions. Meanwhile, MaxPax has killed 4 SCVs with his Dark Templars, but that doesn't even begin to compare. Clem got out of Cyclone and it's making life difficult for that Warp Prism. He got the eBay and he got the turrets up in both his mineral lines. There's no question Clem won the multitasking battle this time around. The box score wound up being 21 kills to 5. Can MaxPax come back from this, or does Clem just run away with the game from here? Oh, he might if he gets more kills. Clem's having trouble getting kills because MaxPax's mineral line's looking pretty empty. That poor stalker wants to file a complaint with Clem's manager. That's pretty much the only thing he can do while that medevac flies away. Here's his transition. MaxPax is going to be able to use his Dark Templar to make Archons. That's the most expensive way to make them, but you don't need a battle duct to do it. I can't believe Clem didn't lose a Hellion. I mean, not one. That's not fair. Okay, so MaxPax got up his expansion. There's a silver lining for him. He's going to chrono boost probes 3 at a time, and that's going to help him catch back up. But to do that, he's going to need to keep Clem busy. Clem's starting up stims, so every Marine he can kill will help out here. If Clem follows up with Mass Marine, Mass Stim Marine, MaxPax is in a lot of trouble. And that does look to be what's going on here. Clem's also getting +1 attack. He's gonna have a stim timing in about a minute. Clem has turned his income lead into a supply lead. I do like that MaxPax is making Archons though. With their splash and bonus damage against biological, they can be some good Marine killers. MaxPax really catching up on workers here. He's Maynarding over to his 3rd. Clem is still on 2 bases. Yeah, the income disparity is not so bad anymore. It's almost enough to put pressure on Clem. Arguably, if Clem doesn't knock out a base or take his 3rd, he could be in a little bit of trouble. It's almost hard to believe that though after his excellent start. Oh, splash! MaxPax just lightening the Marine count. Clem needs to find a way to target that Warp Prism. Oh, those Archons are even taking some stabs at his mineral line. Oh, the Cyclone's taking my advice. He gets it. That makes this a one-way trip for those Archons. I sit corrected MaxPax with the recall, or attempted recall. Clem just shuts it down. An expensive loss for MaxPax, but he needed to trade to reduce that Marine count, and he did kind of succeed there. But without those Archons, what does he have left to defend? Stim is finishing and Clem is pushing out, and he's gonna make a 3rd behind this. That's kind of gonna take the pressure off of this attack. If Luke fails, there's always Leia. MaxPax, on the other hand, he really needs to hold his 3rd. Oh, it's not an attack on the 3rd, it's a doom drop. Oh, Clem, you savage! And MaxPax even moved out with his stalkers. Does he have anything left in his main? Okay, he sees it, but Clem's about to take his ramp. Oh, MaxPax knows he's in trouble. Clem stims and heads for his mineral line. MaxPax has finished Zealot charge, but that doesn't help his probes. Oh, they flee through the barrage of stim. +1 for Clem finishes right as he does it. A Dark Templar and an Immortal are gonna help MaxPax get the cleanup here. But is it really a cleanup if all your probes are dead? And for the 2nd time, Clem has done too much damage. MaxPax has put a halt to Clem's 3rd, that's something. But right now, Clem can outmine MaxPax on 2 bases just by virtue of having such a worker lead. Oh, Clem is totally transitioning over to Marauders. He's got the concussive shells upgrade for them. They're gonna be terrific against the charge lots and the stalkers. MaxPax is gonna need to transition again, but right now, all he can do is make probes. Yeah, the production tab showing a slight asymmetry here. Clem's making everything here. He's even got Widow Mines backing up his Marauders now. If Clem hits MaxPax's 3rd, he does have a shield battery, and a battery overcharge could turn this around for him. Oh, there's actually 2 shield batteries. That's good for MaxPax. Charge lots pounce on the Marauders. Clem has to pull back with the stutter step micro, but he's got so much firepower. And with that many medevacs, he can stim for days, and he does. MaxPax taking advantage of that shield battery. Oh, Guardian Force Field might have hurt more than it helped there. He was trying to stop the Marauders from backing away, but instead he wound up blocking the Zealots. Here comes some reinforcing stalkers, and it is a battery overcharge. Unless Clem can get some reinforcements pronto, MaxPax is going to hold. But pronto they are coming. Clem is actually stimming the reinforcements to bring them to the field faster. That is multitasking skill. Overcharge is done and the Marauders are chewing, and it's GG. Clem will take the lead 2-1 in the series. Well, I do love a Hellion drop. I've never been entirely persuaded that the proxy starport shaves off enough time to be actually worth it. But if Clem and Uthermal think so, I'm not gonna question it. Well, actually, I did just kind of question it. Anywho, if it wrecks someone of MaxPax's caliber, it's gotta be awesome. Let's just jump to game 4. Adjutant, if you will, please.
Reminding caster to actually adjust the score on the bottom of the screen for once. The game begins now.
Okay then. Clem, 1 win away from taking the semifinals. MaxPax poised to be eliminated. He's gonna need to dig deep here because Clem is looking so aggressive. Does he have something in his bag of tricks, or can he just take his play up to that next level? Oh, it's an econ pylon this time. He's tucking that in tight to his mineral line. Whenever I see that in a TVP, it makes me think Stargate, but it really doesn't have to be. Anywho, our map is going to be the long-standing 2000 atmospheres. I've loved it, had some great games with it, but even I might be ready to see it rotated out. Anywho, let's sneak in those intros before things turn nuts again. If you still don't know who our Terran in blue is by now, you must be pretty zen, because he's Clem! And if you don't know who our Protoss player is, you must be even more lax, because he's MaxPax! And now that we've established I went to preschool and can rhyme, we can get on with the game. MaxPax performed a gate and go with his probe, so he's already arrived to harass that Rax. As always though, Clem pulls that second SCV and puts a stop to it. But just even forcing your opponent to pull that second worker achieves something. MaxPax going core before Nexus this game. He is indeed looking like he's trying to rush out some tech. Cough, cough, Stargate. There's the Nexus just a couple seconds later, and Clem gets down his command center. No delay on that. Now his Rax finished as well, and as we can see, this time he is going with the Reaper. And this time, MaxPax is not going for the Reaper block. He is not having a lot of luck on the rock, scissor, paper elements today. Well, that core is gonna complete, and we will see what MaxPax is up to. There's no probe for the Reaper to hunt down, so he's gonna go straight to his opponent's base. This guy in high school was voted most likely to have flames shooting out of his back. Core is done, it's another chrono boosted adept, but there's no warp gate research. That has me interested. MaxPax getting his second gas, he gets his tech choice, it is a Stargate, and he spends his extra pennies on probes. Reaper arrives, the Shade's gonna see that. And it's gonna be another classic Adept versus Reaper here. Clem showing off his micro here. He's just shooting that Adept over and over while hiding behind the Nexus. That is sexy. Oh my god, her shields are almost entirely gone. When was the last time you saw a Reaper pick off an Adept like this? Oh, she is gonna force him out. I guess MaxPax just kinda got caught without a Shade there and had to wait for the cooldown. Nice recognition by Clem, he took advantage. Okay, warp gate's finally getting started, but the trade-off is the starport is finishing. It's gonna be an immediate chrono-boosted Oracle. Meanwhile, the Adept has recovered her shields and she's headed south to Clem's base. Oh, we gonna have round 2 of this lover's quarrel here? Clem backs off, Shade shoots for the natural. Clem does have that safety bunker up again. Just a single Marine inside. Oracle's already done, and MaxPax is queuing up a Phoenix. Clem shows his reactor to Hellions. That's gotta give MaxPax some bad memories of game 3. Oh, the Shade goes unchecked. MaxPax gets the first blood yet again, as Clem prefers to press out with his Hellions rather than defend. Looks like his Marines could handle it. That went a lot better for Clem than I thought it would. Oh, MaxPax has to bring his Oracle back. He's worried about the Hellion rush and can't afford another disaster like the last game. Oracle plus Phoenix will drive off the Hellions. He's gonna pick up the Reaper. But Clem does delay the Oracle dive. And Clem is gonna use the extra time he's bought to get himself a Cyclone. Life is difficult for Oracles when there are Cyclones. I read an Oracle diary once. I know they have nightmares. Oh, the Hellions doubled back. They pick off a probe. MaxPax gets the lift on one. Oh, the Oracle catches the medevac going out for a drop. He gets the revelation tag on it. Good fortune for MaxPax, or does he know the Terran timings that well? Clem's making his first Viking and he just got out his second Cyclone. His air defense is getting ready. The Phoenixes are headed over to harass and there's still an Oracle about. MaxPax's third is halfway done. No third for Clem. Oh! Something went wrong there. MaxPax saw the hidden mine, revealed it with his Oracle, but then got shot by it. He must have tried to macro at home at the same time. MaxPax does kill the mine, but the Viking Cyclone combo chases the Phoenix off. And with harassment over for a second, both players start teching like mad. MaxPax getting the Twilight Council and the Forge to go with his additional gates. Clem starting up the all-important stim and getting himself an eBay. The Phoenix count is up to 4. MaxPax is gonna try again. Snipes an SCV, but then a hidden Widow Mine gets the shot off. Splash over all the Phoenix. And remember, the Widow Mine does extra damage against shields. The Cyclone and Viking pick one off and drop the Phoenix count back to 3. And then MaxPax makes another Phoenix just so he can show that my math is bad. The Zealot charge upgrade is in the works, as is +1 armor. We've seen throughout this series, MaxPax likes to go armor before attack. Clem's making medevacs and marines at this point. He's got the supply lead that he likes, and now he's looking to push. Once again, it's going to coincide perfectly with the completion of his stim pack research. He's queuing up the minerals to put down his third. He does. If MaxPax can hold his third, he'll be in a good position, but it's not going to be an easy hold. MaxPax sees it's coming. He puts down a photon cannon. He needs that to finish. Clem is bringing the firepower. Stim pack 10 seconds away. MaxPax uses sentry shields to split the army, but Clem does not care. The Cyclone is just antagonizing those Phoenix, and the Viking has them outranged. MaxPax has the money, but he needs an army. The photon will finish, but Clem's just gonna focus it right down. He gets off a total of 1 shot. MaxPax can't feel like he got his money's worth there. He needs to get that Viking. Oh, it survives. Clem keeps the Viking alive. And the tickle beams from the sentries just aren't gonna cut it. Clem stutter steps back. He's luring everybody into his mines. Hey MaxPax, let's share, bro. What's yours is mine. Oh, what a slugfest. It looks like MaxPax is gonna finally clean this up. But boy, Clem has to be happy with that. He got some good hits in. MaxPax is leading on workers and income, but Clem's third is gonna kick in and he's gonna even that up. MaxPax doubling down on the Phoenix. He's still making them. Oh, Clem's already coming back to hit the third again. He is a bulldog. And there's even less defense there this time. There's no cannon, just 1 shield battery. The sentries are getting back. MaxPax is gonna have to rally that defense if he's gonna keep his third alive. Sentries split Clem's forces, but there's not really enough there to kill him. Clem just picks his units up and puts them back on the safe side of the shields. But it does buy time for the Phoenix to get back, and MaxPax is gonna have another warp in. The Protoss just might hold. Clem stims again. He's got so many medevacs and so much energy. Meanwhile, Clem puts down a Ghost Academy. MaxPax trying to break things up with the Zealot run-by. He's got a Battle Duck finishing up. If he could get some Archons out, that would help him out. MaxPax goes for the mass lifts. Clem cleaning up at home. It looks like the defender's advantage is kicking in for both players. MaxPax is going to hold. And he needs to. His tournament life is at stake. And the game has kind of reset. Even on army, even on income. But the action did not pause. Clem went for a Widow Mine drop while I was waxing about how things calmed down. Thankfully, only 2 probes lost, thanks to the hard work of a sortie of Phoenix, which are now going to potentially counter-harass. Clem hasn't really made any turrets. What he's done, though, is he's relied on his Widow Mines. And what's interesting about that to me is he's only just making an armory now. Might be more significant that Clem's now making Ghosts 3 at a time. They'll be a very effective counter to the Archons that MaxPax's putting together here. I don't know how they do it, but the great players always seem to have the soft counter in production before their opponent can even make the target unit. It's like they just know it's coming. Oh, a 4th base for MaxPax. Clem is about to get himself an upgrade advantage. He's gonna have a window, not a big one, but it's a window. MaxPax trying to bulk up on that Zealot Archon. Clem showing signs of looking to secure his own 4th base. This time MaxPax is gonna get that photon cannon down a little bit earlier. I'd love for this series to stretch to 5 games. That would be awesome. Oh, a couple of zealots want to give their life for ire here. Well, Clem decides he's got something to say about that 4th base going up. He's got an armory now for his Widow Mines. There's no observer there for MaxPax. Boom, boom. Protoss' supply takes a big hit on that. It's a hold, but it was expensive. And the Widow Mines are all still there to be fired again. Oh, it's the late blink research by MaxPax. Clem actually got the concussive shells upgrade already. Oh, the cannon finishes up and MaxPax able to detect some of those Widow Mines. Interesting Widow Mine fact for you people. Widow Mines are programmed to attack different targets, so they do it automatically. If you actually want your Widow Mines to both attack the same target like an Archon, you've got to actually micro them. Most times, the different target thing is going to be to your advantage. We've got a bit of a stalemate forming up here. MaxPax can't really get out of his base without getting lambasted by the Widow Mines. And if Clem pushes in, he just meets that shield battery. Archons do pretty good with shield batteries, especially with the battery overcharge. Oh, MaxPax is working on a solution. He's getting himself a robotics bay. Colossus or Disruptors, either one will get him the range he needs. Oh, MaxPax had to use the overcharge. Once that time's out, Clem's gonna make some hay. MaxPax is also about to catch up on upgrades. That's gonna end that window for Clem. It's a real back and forth game, but what's worrisome is the Terran supply just keeps on growing. And he's taken a 4th base behind all of this. So yes, MaxPax is holding, but at some point holding is not going to be enough anymore. Because Clem can do this. Where is that Colossus? MaxPax needs that Colossus. It is in production. And when it gets here, it's not going to have the range upgrade. I almost feel like a Disruptor would have been faster. Is it just me, or does it seem like Clem has stimmed those Marines 20 times now? I guess he can do that when you have that many medevacs. Oh, a huge Widow Mine hit. And the part that hurts is it's the same Widow Mines that have been there forever. The lack of detection's been a factor in this game. But MaxPax has needed his robos to get out those Colossi. 54 seconds to produce a Colossus. When you need it, it feels like an eternity. The supply differential's getting a little bit too big here. MaxPax keeps on holding, but he's gonna have to dig deep if he's gonna turn this game around. It's not so much that MaxPax is getting ground down, it's that Clem keeps getting bigger behind every attack. There's a real differential on the unit's loss tab at this point. Okay, the Colossi are here. They do not have the range upgrade yet. Thermal Lance is being researched, but even without it, he should be able to keep the Marines at bay. He just gotta stop wandering into that same minefield over and over and over again. Oh, MaxPax really wanted to illustrate my point there. I appreciate you backing me up there, dude. Oh no, EMP's going off on the Colossus. If he loses his zealot bodyguards, the Colossus get vulnerable very quickly. Look who got an observer. He's able to clean up that minefield. A great move. The only problem is Clem's army size is now up by 55. And Clem's getting the enhanced shockwaves upgrade. Also, quadruple Vikings. That's gonna put a clock on the Colossi. I guess the good news is, for the moment, Clem's finally stopped making a million gazillion medevacs, because the infinite stim has just been ridiculous. But I do worry that Clem has the money and the production capability to just overwhelm the Colossi. Though MaxPax still does have his Phoenix, right? And Phoenix can make life pretty rough for Vikings. Oh, and as an alternate solution, MaxPax is also looking at transitioning out of Colossi and into Disruptors now. I remember casting a terrific game where MaxPax just ran over Clem with his Disruptor hits. But I don't know, Clem actually might just shut down the Disruptors before they can even get built. MaxPax goes for the battery overcharge, but Clem just shuts it right down. Oh yeah, there's such an asymmetry on the unit's lots tab. Oh, MaxPax loses both his robos and the money he was spending on making double Disruptor. The Vikings are just going at the Colossi. Actually, so are the Marines. There's just so many medevacs, I don't think they care. The Colossi just getting focused down. It's GG! Clem takes the series, 3 games to 1. Clem is going to the finals, baby. Well, that was exceptionally fun. The Widow Mine dodge by Clem in Game 1 was especially satisfying. And the next door neighbor proxies in Game 2 was a riot. Rampant aggression by Clem in Games 3 and 4 was also great to watch. One cool thing to highlight from this last game, Game 4. Those of you who follow this channel may have seen my cast where I go over in depth on how pros spot widow mines by the markings in the ground left by invisible mines. But I want to highlight what Clem did here. He plants his mine in a space where the barracks obscures most of the markings. Unless the player is actually going to rotate the camera, that mine is almost truly invisible. The point is, not all mine burial locations are created equal. Some are just dirtier than others. All is fair in love and war. I know I've kind of fractured my audience by creating a channel that features pro games, Scion Races games, and now AI games as well. But for now at least, I remain in love with all three, so you'll just have to bear with me while I figure it out. The Scion community, by the way, has just started their second tournament of the year, and I plan to be casting some games from that next. We hope to be showing off the new look Genitron, so keep your eyes peeled, and from my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your Starcraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.